Well, you guys asked for it. You got it. We're on the INT650 today. Stay tuned. What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here, and welcome back to the channel. Yeah, we're on the 2022 INT650, you know, the Interceptor that you can't call that. But we're going to be taking it home for a week's worth of ride. Again, we're going to call this a first ride reaction, but in reality, it's my second ride. The last time I rode one, it was just a short period of time. It really wasn't a lot of time on the bike, like maybe 10-15 minutes, and I don't do videos on stuff like that. But what we're going to do, guys, is a couple different videos, and in particular, it's going to be a first ride reaction, if you will, a first impressions on how I really think the bike is doing after riding it over 50 miles, and then we're going to do a comparison between the W800 and of course the INT, because they are the closest bikes as far as horsepower and torque in the same realm of the British style standard and retro standard. So that's what we're going to do today, and I think it's going to be a fun series of videos to do. You guys have been really asking for the INT for a long time, and like I said, when we're just left Mid-Ohio Power Sports, they let me borrow it for a week, and we're gonna have some good times on the bike. That's for daggone sure. Well, we got like an intermediate size town here, or a city, and of course stop and go traffic. The bike, you know, it's nice and smooth. I mean, you know, again, slow speed, no wobble. That's a good thing. Looks like I got a farmer's market going on down here. I love the stance. I actually like the seating position a lot. It's a lot more upright. The bars are at a good distance from me, and that's highly desirable. I sit nice and tall on the bike. I like this a lot better. It's a good feeling motorcycle so far. Well, I wanted to bring you to a city. Stop and go traffic. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Nice and stable. I like that. Huh? I turned my turn signals off. Nice and well balanced. Like, came to a stop there without any trouble. This is the stellar blue color. You know, I rode the Continental GT in exactly the same color, but it was a couple years old. This is not. I love the way that the dashboard sets up. Of course, you got the camera in the way here, but the little bar brace there, it's going to keep some vibration down. But starts out nice easy clutch pull. Again, I'm one of these type of guys that you know, the clutch is not a factor for me as far as the pull, because I'm used to riding Harley Davidsons and they pull like a mule. I'm not kidding. So when I hear guys complain about the clutch pull on well, any motorcycle, I just kind of like, well, wait a minute, guys. I guess I've ate my Cheerios. I'm used to it a little bit better, but I guess if that's not what you're used to, it does make a factor. So I'll shut up now.
Thank you, Jesus!
But in the city, stop and go traffic, bike feels good. Like I said, my first real impression is it's kind of cool. I like it. I started out in second gear there, and that was different.
Go!
Which is a good test, because that way we can see what the torque is like too. I like to do that pretty much all the bikes, and it's a good excuse when I screw up. Oh, what are you gonna do? I mean, I tell you right now, the way that I'm sitting is I like it a lot. I like it a lot. The rider stance on this is nice. It feels more natural to me. It feels more upright. Now again, I'm a little bit taller rider, so I really like the fact that I'm not pulling back too much. I'm feeling cramped. I'm feeling relaxed. And I think that's one of the biggest parts, is to be able to feel relaxed on a motorcycle, you know, without doing any, you know, changing handlebars or changing risers, and just sitting on it for the very first time. And you feel, yeah, if you like the rider stand, or like the rider triangle to begin with, but then you add the fact that you don't have to make any changes to be really comfortable. That's what's really good. Let's see. I gotta stop. but I think he isn't. But you know, you saw right there, in a situation like that, I came to a stop really quick. You know, that's why first impression videos and reviews should be completely different. Because once you're used to riding a motorcycle, your first impression may be, particularly me coming right off of that W800, we dropped the W800 to ride this. The W800 brakes, man, are boom, right now, you've got them. They are superior brakes. But this bike here behaves like all the other Royal Enfields, and if you were going to jump on one to the other and didn't realize that that's kind of the trait of the motorcycle, that would be a con for you. But in reality of it is, that's how it is. And so riding it, and you get more and more used to it, it's not going to be as a factor. You know exactly how much pressure to put on. And that is why, guys, I never do reviews on a bike unless I have over 1,000 miles on it, because in reality, number one, the happy honeymoon period is over, and number two, you're more used to riding the bike, and things have changed on the bike. You know, everything's settled in. Your tires are in better shape than what they were. Your seat is broke down a little bit. You've got an opportunity to actually know what the bike is capable of doing and what your capabilities are and how you match them together. That's in a nutshell. Don't be teased by a first ride review, because the review is not going to be honest. That's all I'll say. We're in 5th gear, low end torque going up a hill. Nice. It's nice. Pulled me without any issue whatsoever. But then again, the engine is going to be similar to what was in the Continental GT, and that engine, I really like it. Now, bike is smooth, handles nice. I think actuality, I can probably trail brake a little bit easier with this bike than I could other bikes, because the fact that it does have that squishy system, but I can still load up the front end, and that's really important in trail braking, is loading up your brakes and maintaining that proper footprint. Nice and stable, no wobble back and forth. I'm not getting any vibration in the bars or the foot pegs or the seat. And like I say, I'm running at 3,500 RPM, 54 miles an hour, 53, right in that realm. Of course, I do have some vehicles ahead of me, so I'm not going to be able to do what I would like to do out here in the country. But as far as it goes, so far the bike is handling it expected. I really do love the way this engine performs. Like I said, I'm that Continental GT that I have the most experience on as far as the 650s is just amazing. 50 miles an hour, 3,100 RPM, 200 RPM, crack the throttle down, and we get good torque, real ease of acceleration. There's no jolt to it. I think we get up into higher RPM, we'll see here in a bit. Let's do a little test. We're going to downshift. Or 4th gear, 3rd gear. Get up into higher RPM and then throttle up. Oh yeah, that higher RPM, man, there's 80. And that was in 4th gear. Nice and smooth. Yeah. Again, that's what riding these bikes are all about. They give me the basis of what I know it's going to do and what it isn't going to do. The suspension is really good. I like it. It's not giving me a lot of unnecessary jolts. The seat is comfortable-ish. It's nothing like that CLX, I'll tell you that right now. The CLX was kind of rough, man, but I have to admit the W800 seat is a little bit softer and a little bit easier. Now, I don't know how it would be long term, but like I said, we're cruising here at 60 miles an hour. I'm going to get on some roads here in a little bit that's going to have a little bit more curves to it and see how she handles the curves better. But I'm in love with the 650s anyways. Guys, I'm thinking about doing another video where I do a comparison between the Continental GT and the INT650s, because I think that may be interesting too. But I really like the fact that I can really move around on this seat because it's flat. This is what the Himalayan needed. I'm not kidding. I love that factor. I really love to be able to move around on the seat. Again, being a taller rider, over 6 foot tall, I really want to have the ability to move around, particularly in some twisties, because I mean that's where you need to have more of your movement, where you're actually using your body to help ride the motorcycle. And being able to change that direction is, I don't know, I think essential. And of course, this bike has ABS, just like pretty much all the other ones that I've been riding lately. I think pretty much all modern motorcycles do now. I mean, the only motorcycle that I have that has ABS is the Meteor. All my other ones are, yeah, you need to know how to ride. Because if you're on one of these bikes and you slam on the brakes hard, you're not going to lock up that back end and give you a back end slide out. Whereas if you're not used to it, you will. I know I've got stories I can tell you about some guys I used to ride with that, they go out and they buy big fancy Harleys right away and not used to riding, and as soon as they ended up in a situation, they'd end up laying the bike down, and that's a shame. Let's do a little hard stop right here. Let's see, clutch in. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, that front brake grabs good, grabs real good. I'm kind of impressed with that. It stopped quicker than I expected, considering it's got it's a little softer than what I expected. Again, and that's me more time on the motorcycle. If I would have said that the first time I jumped on it, hey, I turned off my turn signal. If I would have said that first, I said, oh man, it's going to be, the brakes aren't going to be that good. But man, we just showed you right there. Oh yeah, she comes to a stop good. The back brake does seem to be a little softer than the front. The front grabs good. I'm tickled with that. Tickled pink, if you will. Well, I don't know about pink, but I'm tickled with that. 70 mile an hour there, 4,000 RPM. Well, we're going downhill too, but that shouldn't make any difference. Yeah, what I'm noticing right now is when you're applying the pressure on the rear brake, because I wanted to stop almost exclusively on the rear brake there, just to see, and I think what it is the plunger. Once you hit a midpoint, like let me crest this hill, and I'll try to describe it the best I can as I'm actually doing it. But on this rear brake here, let's say crest the hill. Oh man, where are these cars coming from? Get off my road! What is it? Never seen more than one car on this road at one time. Anyway, let's do this here. Let's hit the brake, and I mean, you got to push down quite a bit, but once you start engaging it, it stops pretty quickly. And that was coming. There's a stop sign up here, and we'll use only the back brake on it, and let you see exactly how it's going to work. And it's important, guys, because when you're coming to a stop, I see a lot of guys use the front brake a lot, and then they have their feet down duck walking. Please don't do that. What you're going to end up, and particularly if you turn your wheel a little bit, you're going to end up dropping the bike. Don't do that. So here we're coming up on our stop, and we're hitting the back brake. I gave myself more room, and it does, again, to do it properly, you want to use both front and back brake, because the front brake's going to do 60% of the braking, but it will come to a stop nice and easy, but you have to apply pressure. And there's another stop up here that we'll show you that will do both, which is going to give you better braking. However, it is a little soft in the back end. The Continental didn't seem as much, and that could simply be the fact that it had more mid-rears and my foot angle was different, because I think the braking systems are identical on it. I do not know that. I will find out. And if that is the case, then it must be the angle of my ankle that's giving me better braking in the back, because the Continental seemed to brake a little bit easier and without as much softness, if you will. You know what that means, guys. It's time for another Duracoating Old Man Ronin giveaway. In this month, we're giving away Duracoating finishes and waxes and polishes. All you have to do, guys, is be a subscriber. Make sure you make a comment below what time you saw little Ronin zip by on his motorcycle, and send me an email. Email address is oldmanronin@gmail.com. These products are absolutely fantastic. I use them primarily for restoring motorcycles, which you guys know I don't normally buy brand new motorcycles. What I do is I buy old ones and restore them to my best of ability. And what helps me is the Duracoating technology. Make sure you enter, guys, and last week's winner was... Well, I really hope you enjoyed this first ride reaction video on the INT650, even though it's really the second time I've been on it. But this is the first time I put more than 50 miles on the motorcycle. And now we'll be able to do a first impressions video as well. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button, share and comment. You know I read all the comments, and comment on as many as I possibly can. Until next time, guys, ride safe, look at this beautiful countryside, and keep her on two wheels, baby.